Hey, it's Wellness Wednesday. Hey, hey, hey. Wellness Wednesday. Wellness Wednesday. Hey, 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 hey. Wellness Wednesday. Wellness Wednesday. Hey, I like this rhythm. Great day, great day. Great day. I just got from the gym. Can you tell? I feel good though. I'm back in the States. I'm stateside. Stateside. I feel like, yo, it's so like I preach this all the time. A very adamant, adamant, adamant about how much sunshine we need because it affects your mood, um it affects your body and how it produces things. It affects everything. It's so imperative that we get sunshine, like just how flowers like will wilt up and they'll like sometimes die, sometimes just get real low without sunshine and water. Like we literally do the same thing. But I feel like a lot of the times we don't we don't really put the heaviness on how much we really need sunshine, really need to be outside, really need to, like get out because before I left for Dominican Republic, I knew I was feeling off, but like coming back, I was like, "Oh no, sis was depressed." Like for real. Like I was really dark and I was still going. But it's like how many times in our lives are we in a dark place? We really need help. We really need rest and rejuvenation. But because we're in this cycle of this is how I'm supposed to live my life, we just do it. Right? So like I was just in this cycle of winter again. I have to go through winter, you know, and winter really doesn't work for me. It just doesn't. Like I'm back here now. I feel amazing. Going to the gym, eating great. My body feels amazing. But it's because I removed myself, got some sunlight, got some walking in motion because the one thing I find like in America, we're always in our car. I don't live in a city area, so like the car is real, okay? And yeah, in the DR, I walked. You walk downstairs, get your fruit. You walk here to get whatever you need. You walk. All right, and if you don't walk, you can get in a taxi real quick. Boop, bap, pap. Then you walk to where you need to go from the taxi. So I was in a cadence of sunshine and movement. And I'm telling you, now that I'm back home, I am like on cloud nine. I'm doing my night regimen, no problem. Morning regimen, no problem. I'm skipping around town like, honey, nothing matters to me right now. I'm just happy. My business is booming. I'm like, I'm on 10 over here. But I'm in the same place. I'm in the same room that I was before, the same city with the same people. And I was waking up with I don't know, my brain space was just negative. I was waking up like, I don't want to get up. I don't want to eat that. I just want something hot. I just want something heavy to fill me. Like my thoughts were a problem. And your thoughts are literally what put you in your mood. Your thoughts are literally what directs you to what to do. So if your thoughts are off and you're off, there is something wrong. I feel like we think that depression is so far on the other end, but it's not. Depression means like you're usually here This is your normal state. And you're here now. Maybe you're here. Maybe you're here. We think depression is here. You know what I'm saying? We think it's so far done, so far gone. You just can't get up and move forward. And that's why we need to really I'm mad about this Wi-Fi because I know I got Wi-Fi. Let me check. Hold on. Oh, y'all? Oh, it says connected. Okay. Maybe that's going to help because I was just on airplane mode. I don't know how or if y'all were seeing me on airplane mode. Y'all see what I be going through to get this to you? Holla if you hear me. But here's the thing, in this life, you don't have to be on the far end of nothing to have it. You don't have to stay in the bed and not get up to be depressed. If you are normally here, when you're here, that is a state of depression. And if we start to really tune in to assess where we are, and if we catch it from here rather than catching it here, we will be in such a better position. The reason why is because your bottom is going to always help you navigate back up to the top. And what I mean by that is that your bottom is like when you get to a place like, I can't do this no more. I can't do this no more. I have to change. Now, when you get, the lower you get, the lower your bottom gets, the harder it is to dig yourself out of the hole. And that's why we see depression down here, right? Because now I feel like it's damn near impossible to dig myself out of the hole, right? But if we were to catch it here, we can dig ourselves out that much. You know what I'm saying? We wait to get to the depths of the deeps of the mud to get to our bottom. Here's what I want to ask you. Can you love yourself enough? Can you love yourself enough for your bottom not to be so deep? Can you love yourself enough to wake up and feel a little off and be like, you know what? I'm not doing this today, and self-correct when you're in a state where you can still catch hold to things. A lot of the times we let things slip to where we can't even control it anymore. And that's when we're like, okay, God, I need a change. You know what I'm saying? But can you love yourself enough to just be a little off and that be your bottom? That be like, you know what? I'm not doing this anymore. Because if you can do that, you can see your power. You can regain your power back very quickly. You don't have to wait until you're getting to the bottom of the trash can. You can love yourself enough to have your bottom be closer to the top. In trading, I'm learning how to day trade. And one of the strategies we see in day trading is high lows. We know that a stock is good if the lows are high. Can you love yourself enough to make your lows high lows? Because that's how we know it's a strong stock. That's how you get your power back. So instead of waiting until something gets out of hand, be your best at your high low. It's low, but it's a high low. And if we can really shift our mindset into being at high lows, I'm telling you, you can regain your power and that will push you to do anything. I'm here to tell you today, you do not have to wait until everything is gone. You don't have to wait. I'm going to give you a perfect example in my life. My bottom was, I have a couple of bottoms, but they were all horrible bottoms, okay? My first bottom was, and this is on my journey to get healthy, right? One of my first bottoms was I was in a situationship. I don't know what you call it. Now in my current healing self, I'm like, I don't know what the fuck that was. It wasn't a relationship. It was a situationship that went on for 4 years. I don't know. Now I look back like that was a low. Anyway, I had ended it. I was like, I'm not coming over anymore. And I had ended it. And I decided this was a bottom for me. This was a low, right? And so instead of ending it and going, this is what I want you to see, the difference between a high low and a low. So I got to a low. I went to a buffet. I ate for 2 hours. I went to take a nap for an hour or two, and then I went to class because I was becoming a neuromuscular therapist at the time. So I went to class, but before I got to class, I went to Hardee's and I got a double cheeseburger, fries, and a Sprite, and I ate that bitch. Now this is all within about 3 to 4 hours, and I'm in class, and my stomach is like, "Girl, this is a low for you. You don't overeat like this." I get sick, and I'm telling you right now, so embarrassing. I did not make it out of the room. Would you believe I threw up in front of my whole class in the trash can in the front of the class? The trash can was not even at the back of the class. The trash can was at the front. And I'm vomiting in it. And everybody's like, "Oh my God, Cherette is sick. She must have the flu. You must have came down with something." And I am wailing in the trash can. No, Cherette's just fat. I was fat. I was just fat. I had overeaten and my stomach was like, that's enough. This was a low. Okay. This was so low. It was so low. Oh my God. It was so embarrassing. I knew after this moment I had to make a change. It was inevitable, right? It was such a low. How this could have been a high low. All right. I could have broken it off with him. I say broken up like we weren't together, okay? It's weird. Anyway, I could have broken it off with him and I could have went home and fixed myself some tea and listened to some music and danced. I could have went to the gym for a swim. It could have still been a low moment that I was sad and had emotions, but I could have did something to help me instead of to hurt me. And get this, I still would have had a transformation. And that's the thing. Sometimes we're like, the bottom, and I mean, there is beauty in the bottom. Don't get it wrong. But we don't have to be at the bottom. And that's what I want you to know today. Your bottom doesn't have to be the bottom. It can be high. Well, or maybe we can just raise the bottom. You know what I'm saying? But you can have a high low and not a low. And in the high low, you still are learning the lessons. You're still going through the emotions. You're still feeling the feels. You're still getting the things. You're just helping yourself along the way. And that is the difference. I want you to think about this very hard because you deserve to love yourself enough to help yourself in your low moment so that you don't have to get so gritty. It doesn't have to be so low. You don't have to feel shameful. You don't have to feel guilty. You don't have to go through the muck. Help yourself. Meditate, stretch, get some tea. Your lows don't have to be so low. You can help yourself and have high lows. You can do the things that you know you need to do. And what really is stopping you from doing it? Do you want to know? Do you want to know what's stopping you from what's the difference between the low and the high low? It's a decision to love yourself and to allow your emotions to be. Here is the thing. Emotions are there to be flowed through, right? But when we feel an emotion, we get a physical electrical charge in our body. And a lot of the times we think that we have to do something to off put this electrical charge, right? So, what this looks like is you feel the emotion of anger. So you feel anger and you get the electrical charge in your body. And now it's like, I need to punch something, right? Which is normal for most people. But here's the beautiful thing about emotions: you don't have to output an electrical charge. You can take the electrical charge of anger and you can sit with it and allow it to process through. And when you do this, you take your power back because now you are charging yourself from the exact emotion that you used to have to act out with. This takes practice, though. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and be like, oh, you just think about it and put the charge back. It takes practice. We meditate not for ourselves right now, but we meditate for when the electrical charge of anger comes up. And that's how we know, you know what? I'm going to just take a deep breath. I'm going to step away. I'm going to dance. You transmute energy. Energy is neither created nor destroyed, meaning that if you have an emotion, you have anger, you have jealousy, you have what's another negative emotion? I love that I'm like out of negative emotions, but you have jealousy, you have anger. The energy is not created nor destroyed. It is only transmuted. So say you are feeling super angry right now. Instead of like beating on desk and cussing somebody out, you could dance. You can move, you can do yoga, and what'll happen is that same energy that is within you, the electromagnetic field that is within your cells, it will start to move in your motion. And it could easily come out as something else. It could come out as a relaxation. It could come out as tranquility. You can move it. And this is how we get our lows to be high lows. Know that because you're processing this, because it's still processing, right? And I don't even want to say still processing, because if you go and overeat, you're not processing. Do you think when I was throwing up in the trash can, I wasn't processing the fact that I wasn't, you know what? Now that I think about it, that's why it hurt so much. When I stopped the relationship, I realized I was never in one. And that hurt me the worst. That made me feel like shit. It made me feel like I had given 4 years to a man for absolutely not a goddamn reason because we weren't even together. I couldn't even call it a breakup. And I was horribly devastated about that. I was like, I don't even know what I just did. I didn't even break up with him because we weren't together. And it was confusing. And so instead of processing that, I just ate. But the beautiful thing about emotions is if you process them, you can transmit the energy. You're still at the low, you still feel shitty. There's nothing that could have taken away from me at that time with the tools that I had at that moment. There's nothing that could have took away that shitty ass feeling. But there are things that could have transmuted that energy to help me process them. I didn't process those emotions for at least a year. And this is why our lows get so low, because we're putting stuff on top of 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 stuff. You're mad at your mama. You're mad at your daddy. Now you're mad at your brother. Your sister can get it. And then you be like, oh, when I get in a relationship, why can't you just love me for who I am? Because you're angry. It's interesting that love is so pure. And in this life, we really don't deserve to have to do anything for love. But the one thing that I do know is that when you're angry and you push people away, you make it very hard for them to love you. And that shows up in relationships. And sometimes you get someone who actually loves you, but they don't know how to love you through your anger because you don't know how to love yourself through your anger. And these are very important as we go through life to understand that once you start processing things, you will be able you will be able to really start to get to the core of who you are, aside from the anger, aside from the jealousy, aside from the rage. Where is my water? I have this like tingling situation going on. I don't even think my water is in here. So disappointed in myself. I gotta get back used to carrying my water with me because in DR, child. Can I say this? I mean, I don't need to get off a topic or whatever, but just talking about high lows too. If you live in America, can we get a mic check 1 2? Your lows are really high. There are things going on in other countries and we're so oblivious to them and we be thinking like, oh, my day is so bad. And while I'm not trying to discount how you feel by any means, when I say if you got to shower with pressure to get in, your low is high. Okay. If you can wake up and get access to water and food, and I know some of us can't, but even like the things that I see when I travel, I'm just like, if you can access a bathroom, like I'm not being funny right now. If you can access a bathroom, it is so great. Have so much gratitude. When I tell you, when I walk into people's houses, and no judgment, I actually love it. People live real simple. But I'm telling you, I cannot tell you how many houses I have been in Mexico, in the Caribbean, that don't have toilet seats on their toilets. They just don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, really, in their house, they don't have toilet seats. And you can sit on your toilet. You can sit on your toilet comfortably. You sit on that thing and blow it down comfortably. It's little stuff like that. They can't flush their tissue. You know how different it is to have to put your tissue in the trash can? High low. You can flush your tissue. That's high low. All right. Anyway, back to the message. Now back to the regularly scheduled program. But for real, you have the ability to shift the energy in your life right now. You don't have to live any other way but how you want to live, but it all starts here. How are you processing? What are your thoughts doing? Are you doubting yourself? Are you telling yourself, I ain't shit, I can't do this? If you are, that's your reality. That's why your lows are getting lower. It's really hard to work with yourself if you're in a low vibration at all times. So stop making your lows low. If somebody transcends, and I love to use this because I have such a different view of when someone ascends now. My father, rest his beautiful soul. This is my daddy, y'all. Look at his beautiful soul. You see him? He's a pilot. My daddy. I cried over him this AM. You know what's so funny? I oh, sometimes I get sometimes I get so emotional because every time I see his pictures, it's like I feel him now. And it touches my heart because at one point I couldn't. And I would get so angry because it's like I didn't feel like he was here. And now, like, every time I mention him or like look at his pictures, I'm like, oh, hey, daddy. And so it's so emotional because it feels so good. But I love when we transcend, when people ascend, because it's such a beautiful moment that he gets to be free. And I miss my altar. Oh my God. I came home today and I just cried with my ancestors. I was like, I missed y'all. It's been 2 months and I've been cleaning it off. I got to put offerings on it, but I miss my altar. I cried today. Like, I never thought I'd feel this way. But when someone transcends and they ascend, it can be low. It's just it's a low time, and that's okay because we have to move to a new reality that I can't touch you. Like my father, he was a big guy. I don't have any. I actually don't. That's funny. I don't have any pictures of him when he was heavier. I love this picture of him. This is like I love that picture of him. Jimmy Mack, author. Um, I miss my altar so much. Uh, um, so they transcend, and it's a shift. It's a shift. Like one of the things I always say with my dad is like, I never thought I'd be missing seeing his crack when he bent down because he always had his pants so low because his stomach was big. So it's a shift. But sometimes we get so low about it. We're like, oh, I'll miss them. They're gone. They're gone. And this language, it brings down the energy, not only with you, but with them. Their spirit is still here with you. And if their spirit is still here and you believe that, what the fuck do you think they're feeling when you're like, oh, crying like they're not here anymore? It's low. It's low. Or you can choose to have a high low and you can sit down with them. You can give them a plate of food and eat with them. One of the things I love most is when I make ancestral meals. And I still got to figure out how to make broccoli bread so I can eat it. It was my grandma's I'm like pulling out all the pictures. Y'all can tell I miss my altar, honey. I'm about to show y'all my grandma, but okay. So my grandma makes broccoli bread. My dad, he liked anything fried chicken, mac and cheese, soul food was his thing. I'm not sure about my grandfather. I have to call his brothers and ask more about him. And my grandma Elva, I don't remember eating with my grandma Elva. So now I'm like, I need to ask about this. I need to get a beer because my uncle Steve, he was beer. Okay. I'm just looking at my ancestors, like what y'all was eating. But I make ancestor meals and I sit down with them and I convene with them. I drink. My daddy likes Jack Daniels, so we keep that over there. And sometimes I'll take a shot with him. Sometimes I won't because I'll be like, Daddy, I'm so much more high class now. But sometimes I will take a shot with him. And I talk to them. I'll be like, yo, Dad, what's up? Like, I just got back from DR. I'm moving to Jamaica and I hope that you are like super happy that we get to go on this journey together. Like I literally talk to him like he's right in front of me. And when I do this, my low gets so much higher. You see what I'm saying? Like I control this. I can act like he's not here anymore and I miss him so much because he's not around. Or I can acknowledge the fact that I still feel his presence. And when I do that, I actually feel him here. Like it still makes me cry. Like when I picked up his picture just now, I was like, I felt tingly. Like he comes to me. Your ancestors are here with you. Convene with them, talk to them, let them know that their presence is here. If you are missing somebody, please raise your low to a high low. That's just on that. So bring it around. You control your lows, and they do not have to be in the mud, and they do not have to be low. All right. So the next time you feel yourself being down, like feeling low, think about ways you can love yourself through it so you can process it and bring the high up, because you deserve that. You deserve that. All right? You deserve a high low. You deserve to process your feelings. It is your birthright to live a life free of pain. Convene with your ancestors if you need to. Go dance if you need to. Drink some water, get some tea. Listen to some music that makes your heart flutter. You deserve it. It is your birthright to be happy. It is your birthright to be healthy. It is your birthright to live a life free of pain. So when you feel the pain, raise the vibration. You deserve that. Love yourself through it. You don't have to, your lows don't have to be low. All right. That's the message for the day. I hope it rang true. Hey, Mama Ro. You see, I got the sauce going. You know what I'm saying? I'm over here like DJing myself and stuff. That's the message for Wellness Wednesday. Look, if you have not, look, my name is Coach Cherette. You see it right here. If you have not, go to the link in my bio, either on Facebook or Instagram. You could type that in, and you can book a free health strategy session where we will go over what is and what is not working in your health, honey. All right? Because I'm here for you, not me. All right? Do that. And make sure today that you are doing something to love yourself and keep your vibrations high. I love you. Every time I share space with you, it is so sacred to me. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for showing up for yourself today, honey, because you did that. Okay. I'll see you next week, same time, same place. On what? Wait. Wellness Wednesday. Hey. Wellness Wednesday. Hey. Wellness Wednesday. Hey. Wellness Wednesday. See you, love. Toodles.